one is blogger.com. That is the tool provided by Google, as you can see on my screen, right? So you have to create an account. You have to just create the name of your blog. So as you can see, Travelway is one of the name which I have selected for my blogging platform. And you have to just sign in with your Google account. Once you sign in with your Google account, next thing what you need to do is you need to select the themes. So if you can see on my screen, this is a theme option over here, right? So many of them are asking me question. Do not worry, I'll answer all your questions once we are done with this webinar. So don't worry about that part. All right. Okay. So this is a theme section. Now theme, that means how your website or how your blog page will look. And if you can see on my screen, right, these are the type of themes, inbuilt themes that is available. Now here I want to highlight one more thing, right? So whenever we publish any information on the internet, we need to purchase a hosting plan. But with blogger.com, you need not to purchase a hosting plan because you're hosting a blog on the Google server, right? Next thing, if you want to integrate blogger.com with your website, you can do that. Simply in the settings, you have to write down, you have to specify the domain name whenever you are setting up your blog icon. So if you can see my blog address over here, it's travelwayblogs.blogspot.com, right? So this blogspot.com simply means that you are hosting it on a Google Blogspot server. But if you want to publish, if you want to have a blog URL with your own custom domain name, so over here you can set up the domain. So for that you have to first purchase a hosting, and then you need to, whenever you're creating your account, it will ask for your blogspot name, blogger name. You have to just type in with the URL of your website. All right. So to begin with, you can begin with a free hosting provider, that is Google server. And after that, if you want to switch, after that also you can switch. All right. The first thing is you will sign in to blogger.com with your Google account. After signing it, you will give the name to your blog. If you have your domain, if you have registered your domain and hosting, you will you need to configure that. And if you want to start with a free, if you want to start with a free, then definitely it will give you this, provide you with this URL. After that, most important thing is you have to select the theme. Now how you will select the theme? Basis on the topic that you're writing for a blog. So as I am writing for travel, I have selected the theme that is relevant with travel, right? If you're writing with finance, say for example for share market, then you might probably go with dark theme. If you are writing about, if it's a feminine kind of site, woman oriented site, you can go with this pink theme, right? So theme is also of utmost important whenever you are writing your blog. After selecting the theme, the next thing that you have to do, you are ready to write the blogs. All right. So you will go to the post option over here. You will click on this plus button to write a new post. Simply you will give the title of your blog about what you are writing. It's very easy to write on blogger.com. The way you write on the Word in Word platform, Microsoft Word platform, same way you can write over here. You can provide hyperlink, you can insert the images, you can insert the video, right? You can change the color of the text, and you can instantly publish it, or you can schedule it for a later date. So once you write over here, once you write the title, everything is fine. You have to publish. But before publishing, I have certain suggestions that you need to follow. What are that suggestions? There should not be a spelling mistake, a grammatical mistake. You should not use too much of jargons or technical language, because you are writing blogs for your audiences. right? You don't know that what is the background of your audience. They should easily able to understand that what you are writing. Next thing, we have a tool that is known as Grammarly. Most of you might be using that tool. Okay, Grammarly is a tool. If you can see on my screen, this Grammarly is an extension that we can add on a Chrome browser. If you write anything and there is a spelling mistake, so say for example, I am writing digital marketing. Here it's a spelling mistake. Grammarly will automatically suggest me that there is some spelling mistake. Even if there is a grammar mistake, it will suggest me. Next tool that we can use to view our blog is very good tool, that is a hemingwayapp.com. You can take a note of it, what this tool does. Now if you can see right over here, whatever content I have written on my blog page, I can simply paste that content, right? When I say write, I can just paste the content over here, whatever I have written. And then when I will click on edit, it will give me the suggestion, right? What kind of suggestion? Grammatical mistake suggestion, whether this paragraph is easy to read or hard to read. So if you can see 11 sentences, one of 11 sentences is hard to read. That's what it is telling me over here, right? And one of 11 sentences is very hard to read. So you have to follow the color combination. Yellow is for sentence that is hard to read, right? Peach is for sentence that is very hard to read. Adverb mistake or grammatical mistakes, all that kind of mistakes it will tell you. It is very important that whenever you're writing the blog, it should have a good quality and it should look like some good content writer has written your blog. That carry a lot of weightage, right? So if your impression is good, definitely visitors, definitely audience will view your blog page and it will look genuine. All right. So if anyone have any doubt regarding this, I request you to ask me and then we'll move further. Anyone having any doubts? You can drop me a chat message. Okay. So Shreyas was asking me, ma'am, Wix website offers to open a domain for 499. Yes, you have Wix as a domain provider. You have GoDaddy as a domain provider. You have Bluehost as a domain provider, which gives you a good offer that is for one way. Okay, so Sujay is asking me to repeat a tool. Sujay, what I will do is I'll just share the URL with you all, so it will be easy for you, easy for the easy reference. All right. So I'll just share this with everyone. Okay. Yeah. So Shreyas, I hope that I have answered your query. Right. Okay. Okay. So Sanjana is asking what is host and domain. Okay, Sanjana, I'll tell you. Domain is something where your address of the website that you're assigning it, right? Now, if I have a website, I need to have an address so that people will know that, okay, this is the address of my website, right? It's as simple as that. Where are you staying? If someone wants to visit your home, they need to have your address. So that is a domain, and hosting, that means whatever information I have on my website, I need to make it available on internet, right? So if you have given a home address, your home should be constructed, your home should be built for people to enter into your home. So that's the same thing. That domain is simply the address of your website, and hosting, that means that whenever whatever content you're writing on your website, right? So to view the content, you need to have a hosting. Okay. Hriday is asking me, while using blogger.com, where are the post publishing? So the posts are publishing on blogger.com. Now, if you can see my screen, this is one of the blog, right? So I have written this blog the way I showed you. I have written this blog, and when I will click this blog, okay, just I'll show you. Okay, so when I will click on this blog, right now I am into the preview mode because I don't want to publish this blog. This I have paused. It's in a draft mode. So as soon as you publish, the URL will be the URL which I have shown and the blog post name. So the blog post name over here is Gaurav Gujaratni Gaurav Wildlife Resorts, right? Worth exploring. This is the name of the blog. So as soon as whenever you will write a blog, I have shown you the publishing option over here, right? So if I'll go over here, this is the publishing option of the blog. So if I have scheduled it, it will not be available to your audience. But if you have published it automatically, then people can view, and this is how you can go here and you can view your blog. All right. Okay. So Shweta is asking me which is most reliable, blogger.com or WordPress. So we are coming to this. Anugrah is asking me, can we use other free templates? No, we can use only the templates which are available with blogger.com, right? We cannot use any other templates in blogger.com, but yes, in WordPress, we have that option. Okay. Sumit is asking me how to get more viewers. That we'll be discussing, Sumit, later on, right? So we'll move on with the next part. We'll move on the next part, and I hope that it will answer all other queries that you are asking me. Okay, and we will again come to the question answer session. So I hope everyone is clear how to create a blogging account, how to write a post, how to create a theme, right? And as I shown you a Hemingway tool. Now, say for example, you have decided that you want to write, say for example, on digital marketing as a topic. So you need to understand that what are the most searched topic in digital marketing. So for that, you have a tool, and that tool is answerthepublic.com and Google Trends. So how this tool works, right? You have written the blog, but the blog reach should be there. More and more audiences should able to view that blog. You might get confused that what are the topics that you need to write for your blog. So this is the tool, that is answerthepublic.com. Now, for example, I want to write a blog on digital marketing topic. So what I will do is I'll simply write digital marketing and I will do a search. In search, what it will give me, what kind of information it will give me? It will give me that what are the kind of topics people are searching for, right? If you can see, here are the topics: when to do digital marketing, when digital marketing started in India, right? Is digital marketing the future? Now, what I'm getting over here, yeah, there are a lot of questions coming on a chat window. Do not worry, I'll answer all the questions. First, let's discuss about this. All right. Okay. So these are the suggestions, or these are the ideas what you are getting of what you can write, and these are what people are searching, right? What people are searching is the ideas that you are getting, and you can also try to write. So how, what, when, these are some common topics which people are searching on Google. Whenever you write blog, ensure that your topic starts with top 10 best, which, when, why, right? As you can see over here also. All right. Next tool that we have is Google Trends. This is a tool which is provided by Google. Now, if I want to find out that is that topic, what is the search volume of that topic, right? I can easily find out with Google Trends. So I'll go to googletrends.com. After that, say for example, I decided from this that okay, I'll be writing on the topic, can digital marketing make you reach? So what I will do is I'll simply type, can digital marketing make you reach? Right, so I can get an idea that what are the search trends over the past 12 months. Okay, I can select the categories, I can select the location over here. So if I'm writing only blogs for specific audience, that is for India, I can select India. I am writing worldwide, I can select worldwide, right? So worldwide, if you see, I have good number of searches, but when I'm searching for India, I don't have so many number of searches. Now when I take my cursor over here, right, it gives me the search volume. If you can see, May 10 to 16, that means 86 people have searched regarding this topic, right? So try to write down the topics where people are searching for your are searching for that kind of questions or that kind of topics, so that you will be having good traffic on your blog. So to increase the traffic, have a good theme of your blog. As I told you, there should not be a grammatical mistake, a spelling mistake. You should not use lot of jargons. Most important thing, your content should be a quality content and it should not be a copied content. You should not copy a content from any other websites, right? Sometimes Google might ban your blog page, mark it as a spam, and your domain you might not show more and more ads if you have a copied content. So Google wants is a quality site. So that's the thing that you need to take into the consideration. All right. So I hope that I am clear till now. Okay. So we have discussed a blogger as a platform. Now we have another platform, that is WordPress.com, another popular platform, that is WordPress.com and WordPress.org. So if you know, WordPress.com and WordPress.org both are different sites. WordPress.com is a free hosting site, as a blogger is, right? You did not to pay for hosting. You are hosting it on their own server, but the only drawback is that the domain name that you get is their domain name. In WordPress also, WordPress.com also, you will get a domain name as whatever name you are giving to your page, to your post, and .wordpress.com will come over here. All right. Okay. WordPress.org, that means I need to purchase domain and hosting for WordPress.org. So that is a difference between WordPress.com and WordPress.org. Right, so to start with a free blogging site, you can start with WordPress.com. So let us discuss the interface of WordPress.com. All right. So again, you have to go to WordPress.com. If you will go to WordPress.org, then you have to purchase a domain, you have to purchase a hosting, you have to install WordPress.org. It is a software that you have to install on your website. But when you go to WordPress.com, simply what you have to do is you have to create a site. So first, when you will log in, I am already logged in, but first when you will log in, so this is the screen that you will be getting, right? And it will ask you for the site, that what is your site name. This is the first step that it will ask you. So you have to click on start now, right? And then you have to select your domain name. So if you can see over here, I need to write my domain name. Say for example, I have written domain name, that means the brand name or the topic on which you will be writing the blogs. Okay, the category on which you will be writing the blog. So say for example, I am writing a blog for digital marketing training. So I'll just type in digital marketing training and it will give me the suggestion. Now some of them are free and some of them are paid. Paid are, if you can see, right, digital marketing training 630, that is the number, and then that .wordpress.com, that it is giving me free. Now here, other thing you can see free, Now .wordpress.com is known as extension, okay, domain extension. .com, .in, .net, .org, all these are term as domain extension, right? And your brand name or category name of your blog is known as a domain name. So if I, apart from wordpress.com, if I'm selecting any other domain, it will charge me. Right now it is written as free. This is a marketing policy. If you see, it renews at $25 a year, right? So this is free for certain time. This is a registration fee is free, but then you have to pay $25. All right. Okay. So then you can select with the free. Once you have selected with free domain name, this is how your site will be created. So you can see I have created free site, and that free site is having the URL at as my domain name .wordpress.com, right? Same, the next step that I will be doing is I will be selecting the themes. So here there are more themes that I can get apart from what we have in Blogger. Blogger has very limited theme, and it's just for beginners. This is little bit advanced from Blogger. So again, as I told you, you have to select related themes. If you are into finance, you have to select finance related theme. Now in WordPress, what you will be doing is you can select the theme, you can get the info of this theme, just go through this demo, that how this theme looks. You have to align it with your designing. So you have to create a blueprint that whenever you are writing a blog, how it will look. You have to create a blueprint. Over here you also have paid themes, okay, for which you can pay. But to start with, I suggest that you start writing with a free theme. If you can see, what I need to do is, once I'll view the demo, if everything is good in this theme, what I will do is I will activate this design, right? So once I activate this design, what will happen? I can, once I have activated this design, I can write the blogs over here, right? So you can see a design. There are pages and post option. So what is the first step that I will do? I will select the design. After selecting the design, I will write the post. So according to my design, whatever design I have selected, that interface, user interface will come over here, right? So anyone having any doubt? Okay, Rida is asking me, I am a developer. Can I make my own web templates work in WordPress? Yes, it has to be compatible with WordPress, and you can use your own themes if you want. There's no issue. Pratmesh is asking me, can you explain Google AdSense for YouTube creators? We'll be having another session, Pratmesh, for this. Right now, we'll be only going through this blog. Right, for YouTube, I will be conducting another webinar shortly. Okay. Agna is asking me, if we are selecting a general topic, will it be okay if we take content from the internet and write it differently? Yes, you can do some article spinning if you are using some facts, right? There are certain possibilities that you are using certain facts, like pay scale in digital marketing, right? So that pay scale is fact, you cannot change that fact, but then you have to mention the source name. So there, say for example, payscale.com is a website wherein you get an idea of what are the salary trends, right? So you have to give the credit in that case. But yes, 5% of plagiarism is allowed if you have to write certain facts and all that in that type of scenario. But then you have to give a source. Say for example, you have taken a nice image. Google Analytics image you are taking, or any other images that you are taking from third party sites, then you have to mention the credit for that, right? Okay, so I hope that I have cleared your doubt. Okay, anyone having any doubt with this, how to create a account in wordpress.com? and how to write out down the post. Anyone having doubt with this? Yes, Abhinav has raised the hand. Yes, Abhinav, you can drop your message on the chat. Yes, please ask your message. Please ask your query. Okay, can we create a personal blog? Personal blog, that means I suppose it can be a professional kind of blog, a portfolio kind of website. Uh, yes, if that is a case, yes, Sanjana, you can create that. Okay. Sujay is asking me how to add images and copyright issues related to images. So you have to just mention the source. Whenever you are selecting the images, copyright images, you have to just mention the source, right? Sanjana is asking me not specific about any topic, but that will, Sanjana, according to me, that will become very haywire and a very chaotic thing. You have to decide on the topic. So if you have decided travel as a topic, you can write adventure travel, places to visit in summer holidays. That kind of blogging you can write. But yes, my suggestion is do not create the same kind of for different industry. Do not create a same blog. For that, then you create a separate blog site, right? Okay, Rida is asking me, can you tell me about e-commerce website? So we will also be conducting e-commerce webinar where we can discuss this. Okay, Prathamesh is telling I missed some part earlier. Okay. Okay, Angana has asked me a good question that how we can check for a plagiarism. Uh, Very good question. We have one tool that is small SEO tools. I'll just take it through this tool. Okay, small SEO tools where you have a plagiarism checker. You can just go to this tool. You can go to the plagiarism checker. Whatever content you have written, you can just copy paste this content, and then what you can do is you can check for the plagiarism. All right. Okay. Okay. What would you just, ma'am, for an author oriented blogging regarding write-ups and poetry? Sorry, I didn't get your question. uh, can you please rephrase the question? So meanwhile you are rephrasing the question, many of you are raising the hands. Please drop in your chat message, whatever is your query. I will resolve that. So please drop it in our chat window. Okay, Surendra is asking me, is Wix easy or WordPress for starters? Wix is very easy, has a very user-friendly interface. Okay, all the options, all the plugins are there. If you talk in the terms of interface, it's easy to use. But if you talk in the terms of flexibility, WordPress domain name itself carries a good weightage compared to Wix. So WordPress is most trustworthy domain compared to Wix, right? So we will now move on to the next part. Okay, so I'm clear. I think now all of you are clear how to create a blog on WordPress. So right, go to the post, add a new post and start writing your post, and you can publish your post. So this also has a easy interface, a word interface, right? So if you can see, it has a word interface, and then you have a status. You can publish it immediately or you can schedule it as a later date. This is same that we saw in the blogger. So it's very easy to write blogs on these two sites, right? Okay, now we will discuss about AdSense. Okay, so first of all, let us know that what is AdSense and why should we use AdSense. So this was for a blogger account. We had a walkthrough of a blogger account, right? WordPress, we have seen wordpress.com. Okay, now let's first of all discuss that what is a AdSense. AdSense is a free tool that is provided by Google and we can earn money, right? So many advertisers advertise through Google platform And on the third party website, the ads are being seen. You might be also seeing many websites where the ads are seen. So it is done through AdSense. Okay, it can be a YouTube, it can be blog, it can be the website, it can be even a mobile app wherein you can show the ads using AdSense account, right? So how it works is advertisers can make a ad space available. This I will make you understand in a moment when we will be going through the AdSense interface. Okay, how you can make a ad space available, and then you can earn the money. So digital marketing itself started with blogging, and earning money online started with the blogging. This was the initial phase that it started, and it started in the year around 2000. Okay, so there are good payouts. uh, Google AdSense have a check if advertisers are having any spammy link or any violation kind of content, then Google will not place the ad. So that harmful content, that harmful ads will also not be placed on your website. Robust targeting, in the sense you can target a good number of audiences with AdSense. Flexible ad control, that means you can control that for which categories of ad you can show, and then you have a performance tool that whose advertiser ad was seen and how much you have earned from that advertiser. All right. Okay, so how you can monetize your blogs? So we have seen blogger account. So let us see that how we can monetize or how we can enable this through a blogger account, right? So I'll just switch back to the browser. So this is my blogger account. And over here, once you have configured your blogger account, once you have written the blogs, next thing is you will just click on earnings over here. In the earnings, you will say show ads. Now, before that, what is required? It is required that you create your account on AdSense, right? So how you need to create your account on AdSense? You have to just go to adsense.com and you have to log in with your Gmail or Google ID, Google account ID. So once you are logged in with your Google account ID, right, it will, so now here, my main thing, important thing that you need to take into the consideration is that you need to have same account, Google account. So if I have logged in blogger.com with Shraddha Somani account, Google AdSense account should be of also of Shraddha Somani. Then only it will connect with your AdSense account, right? So before enabling the monetization on Blogger account, what you need to do is you need to go to Google AdSense and you need to create an Google AdSense account. Once you have created Google AdSense account, next thing what you have to do is when you will go to earning, you will select an option, show ads on your blog, and you will say yes, right? Once you will select yes, it will ask me that where I need to show the advertisement on the page, whether I want to show on the right hand side, whether I want to show in between of articles, okay, or whether I want to show in the footer. Now this is one of the blogging site, if you can see, right? So these are the ads. If you can see on the right hand side, the ads are coming. This is the ads by Google. Now, when I will click on this, you can see this is the ads by Google, which I'm able to see. Now, what they have done, this is a blogging website. They have written a blog. After writing a blog, they have enabled it for blogging. They have enabled it for AdSense. And then you have to also select an option that where you want to show the ads on your blogging site, right? On the right hand side, in the header part, in the topmost part, in the bottom footer part, in between of the articles, so that you have to decide. Now my suggestion is always show ad on the right hand side. Do not try to show the ads in between of your articles. If you show the ads in the bottom, right, the chances are very less that people see the ads. So the best way is to always show the advertisement on the right hand side, right? Okay. So you can select this option over here. Once you save the settings, what Google AdSense will do, Google AdSense will review your blogging site first of all. After reviewing the blogging site, it will enable to show the ads. Now, till the time Google AdSense has not been enabled, right? It has not reviewed your site. You will not able to see this option. This will be disabled. Which option? Ads and ads for search. This two option will be disabled until and unless Google AdSense has not reviewed your blogging site or a website for which you want to monetize. Once it has reviewed, then only it will allow to place the ad. Now, what are the policies? We'll be discussing this later on. First, I want to show you how you can configure the things on your AdSense account, right? We'll be having a walkthrough of AdSense. So once you have connected, once you have decided where you want to show the ad, right, you're good to go. But now, say for example, you have created a website on WordPress.org. Okay, if you can see this Miss Tripsy .co.uk, they have designed the website themselves. They have not used any tool, neither Blogger nor WordPress, right? They have used their own designing platform. In such scenario, what you need to do is you need to go to AdSense, you need to go to sites, and then you need to click on add site, and you need to give the URL of your site. All right. Once you give the URL of your site, it will review your site. After reviewing your site, if everything is okay, it will allow you to place the ads. So we'll be discussing the policies. Do not worry about that, right? After that, once your site is enabled, right? Once your site is enabled to show, that you need to do is you need to go to ads, and then you have to create a ad space manually. Now what happens in Blogger, automatically you can select the ad space, right? But if you have a site like mistrepsy.com, then manually you need to configure the space. Space simply means that on which part of your page you are willing to show the ads. So you will go to this, and then you will say by ad unit. Now there is something known as automatic ad placement also, which Google AdSense has recently introduced. By site, that means Google AdSense will automatically decide that where the ads needs to be placed. But again, my suggestion is your website, your blogging site is your property, and hence you decide that where you want to show the ads, right? So you will go to ad unit. Once you are gone to the ad unit, it will give you an option, right? In between the articles, in between the feeds, or you want to show the image ads, right? So you can select this option. So if you can see, these are the kind of ads you are able to see, right? So that what are you doing? You are enabling your website to show the type of ads. So you can select that what kind of ads you want to show. Now, if you have decided that you want to show ads at the top of your page or at the bottom of the page, then these are the kind of ads that you are able to see. But you have decided that you want to show the ads on the right hand side of the page, right? So these are the type of ads that has been that is seen. So you have to decide that what kind of ad you want to show. Okay, this is the vertical ads that we have seen. Again, these are the kind of ads that we see on the right hand side. After that, what you need to do is you need to simply say create. Once you say create, okay, I need to name my ad unit. Now, how you will name? If you're creating for the top of the page, you will say top page ad unit. If you're creating for the right hand side, you will say right hand side page unit. So benefit of this is whenever you will see the reports, you can see whether which kind of unit is performing best. So you are allowing side unit you are allowing, bottom unit you are allowing, header unit to show the ads, right? All this part you are allowing. In the reports, if you are named it correctly, you can see that whether the top unit ads have been performed well or right hand side units have ads have been performed well, right? Okay. Then I'll click on create. When I'll click on create, what it will do is it will give me a code. Now, when it is required, when you are not configuring your site with Blogger, but you are configuring your site with which you have created with other platform, other designing tool, right? With Blogger, there is no need to set up for the code. I'm showing you if you have created a website like Miss Thrifty or blogging site like missthrifty.co.uk. In that scenario, you need to place a code. Where you will place a code, you can ask your developer to place your code if you don't have a coding knowledge. So once you will copy this code and you will paste this code on the page where you want to show the ad. So now I want to show the ads on this part. So simply what I will do is I'll paste the code on this part, and whenever the advertisers are bidding, the highest paid advertisers ad will be shown on my website. So before that, I have to just copy this code. I have to place this code on the website. You have to ask developer that where exactly you want this ads to be shown. All right. Okay. Okay, Angana is asking me if it is okay to have the same site on Blogger and WordPress. Yeah, that is okay. No worries. So if you are having a domain of your own, right, you cannot have same name of the domain on Blogger and WordPress. But yes, if you are creating, say for example, you are creating Travel Way and you are not purchasing hosting, you are using a server of Google or Blogger, and you are hosting it same on WordPress with the same name, then it is okay, because over here what will happen, the name of my domain will be like travelway.wordpress.com, and for Blogger it will be travelway.blogspot.com, right? So domain names are different. But if you are, say for example, you have registered a domain as travelway.com, then you cannot have on both, right? You need to have on any one. All right. Okay. Next question is, what would you just, ma'am, for an author oriented blogging regarding write-ups and poetries? If you can please rephrase the question, that will be good for me, right? Okay. So anyone having any doubt, tell us regarding how you can create your AdSense account, how you need to configure your site, and how you need to enable the ad unit. Any doubts anyone having for this? Please let me know. Okay, Abhinav Singh has raised the hand. Yes, Abhinav, you can ask your question. Okay, Angna is saying amazing so far. Thanks Angna for your feedback. Thanks a lot. Okay, right. So next step, I will be creating the ad unit. Next we discuss is we can, it is very flexible and we can also have our own control. Now, when I say control, what do we mean? Control, that means I can select the categories, that of which categories blog ads should be there on my website, right? So what I can do is I can search for the categories, for the content. I'll go to the content. I'll go to the all sites, right? And over here, what I will do is with the advertiser URL. So if anyone is my competitor, my question is, if anyone is your competitor, will you show their ads? No, right? Also, yes, you cannot show your competitors ad, right? So what you can do, you can manage your advertiser URL. By mistake, if your advertiser ad has been shown, so what you can do is you can just block it with the URL. So what you have to do, you have to go to manage advertisers URL. You have to just place the URL and then you have to simply say block. Now, right now the ads are not running, so I cannot see the URL list over here. But once your ads start running, you can see the URL and you can simply click on block. So you can block with advertisers URL. You can block with the categories also, right? So if I go to categories, it will give me the categories, the list of categories, right? Now, say for example, I am a site wherein I am providing events, tickets, entertainment kind of site I am there. So what I will do, I don't want my competitors' ads to be shown on my site. So what I will be doing, I'll be blocking that category, right? Here I have to allow whichever categories ad I want to show. And if I'm not allowing entertainment, simply means that I'm blocking that site, right? So entertainment again has subcategories over here: movie, films, music, audio, right? So I can select the categories whose ad I don't want to show. All right, so this is how I can block it, right? So I hope everyone is clear how to create a blogger account. Yeah, Sujay has raised his hand. Yes, Sujay, please tell me your query. Okay, Sujay is asking me, can I edit and add ads on it and post it again? You cannot edit the ad. The that control is with advertiser. Whatever advertiser is designing the ad, that kind of ad will be shown, right? So you cannot edit any ads. You can only just show the ads. Okay, edit the post. Yes, once you have published your blog, and if you want to edit anything, you can do it again. No issues with that. You can just, I'll just show you the interface of how you can do it. Okay, just wait for a second. So you'll go to the blogger, whatever post you have, you can go to that post, and over here, you can just open that post, and whatever you want to edit, you can edit on that post, and then you can publish it again, right? So this is how you can edit your blog post. Can we, Sanjana is asking me, can we create a two different blogs of different content from same Google account? Yes, you can do that. You can do that with the same Google account. You can create two different blogs. There's no issue with that. Abhinay is asking me, so we cannot create or keep the same account in WordPress and blogger.com and in websites, ma'am, and connect everything with AdSense account. So I'm saying that your domain name should be different for that. If you have a same domain name, right, you cannot do that. As I told you, travelway.blogspot.com and travelway.wordpress.com. You can create these two different sites and you can connect over here, right? As I shown you the site option, you can add those sites. But if it's same, you cannot do. As I told you, you cannot create with same domain name with the same domain name on both the accounts. It should be a unique account. What it will say that this domain is already registered. All right. So I hope that I have clarified the doubt. Okay, thanks. Okay, so back to our presentation. So we have, so far we have seen how we can set up our AdSense account. Yes, this we have seen, right? So this is just a presentation of how it works. Once your account is approved, you will make your ad spaces available. I have shown you how you can create your ad units. Bidding selects the ad. Now, how the ads are shown on your website. So whenever advertiser place the ads on Google, what happens? Whoever is bidding more, their ads is been shown on the website, right? Zero payment hassles. Now, once, so Google has a threshold. The threshold is $100. Once you have earned $100, after that, your payment will be done. Your payment will be credited, right? So you have to first reach to $100, and then only you will be paid. All right. Okay, so we have also gone through this interface, how we can create ad units, how we can display ads. So this is a code that I was talking about, right? Next thing is, once you have created the ad units, now if you can see, right, bottom banner leaderboard. So this is the bottom banner ads. I can see the performance and I can see the reports. Ad unit wise, I can see the reports over here. So, and I can see, I can control the ads. Okay. Okay, so whenever the ads are been coming and ads are being displayed, I can see that which kind of ad units I have been created over here. That all I can see. I can control the ads. That is a blocking control that we have seen, right? So once the ads are started showing on your AdSense account, you can see the all the advertiser ad over here, and you can block the ad. So we have seen we can block the ads with advertiser URL. So if I see, okay, this is the ad, and I think this is my competitor's ad, or this ad is not, it's spoiling the impression of my website, I can immediately block this ad, right? Right. I can also select interest based ads to show. Okay, the most important part is approval policy. So first thing what Google AdSense sees before approving. First thing it sees the look and feel of your website. So as I told you, you have to select a good theme and a relevant theme of your business. First thing it will see about the theme on your website. So if you can see this theme, right? If this kind, if your website designing is of this kind, Google will never approve. It should be user friendly and it should look like a genuine design. It should not look like a spammy kind of sites, like the gambling sites and all that kind of sites are spammy kind of sites if you will go through their interface, right? Gaudy colors are used, too much of images are placed, things are not aligned properly. So things should be aligned properly on your website. So if you are not going through a blogger, if you are not going to the WordPress, if you're going through that, then definitely it will be approved because the design, the theme is a genuine and good looking theme that is designed. But now if you are hiring a website designer, make sure that you are hiring a good designer. It really pays off, right? So invest with a good designer and have a good professional design on your website. Next thing, why Google AdSense can disapprove is poor content quality. We were discussing about the content. It should not be plagiarized, right? You have to check spelling, grammatical mistakes should not be there. Do not use copy sources. If you are using a copy sources, you need to mention that source name and create a content that carries a value. Don't just write for sake of writing. Write if users are benefited, right? Write in a way where users are benefited. Now, if you say, okay, I am writing how to create a blogging site, but you are just discussing on theory that, okay, this is a blogging started in this particular year, and this is the site where you can write blogging, but actually you are not showing that, okay, how you can configure the things. It does not carry a value to your content, so it should create a high value content. You should at least write 600 to 700 words per post. Now this recently Google has changed. It is saying that at least you should have 1200 to 1500 words on your website. Then only it will consider a quality and good content, right? So because you need to try to explain to the user, you need to try to give the quality to the user, at least you should have 1200 to 1500 words per post. Again, Google AdSense will not approve the website which are not having heavy content. Your website should have heavy content, and each post should also have a heavy content, right? Make content rich with videos and images. The plain text content does not look good, and people are also not interested, right? So people, do you think that people read each and every word? No, they try to relate it with the images and videos that you have on your website, right? So Google also says that your page, your post should look a content rich page. For that you need to add videos and images. Formatting should be good, as we had seen on the first slide of website designing, right? If you're not aligning things properly, then the formatting is not easy for scanning also, right? Scanning in the sense the way the people view your website. So from left hand side to right hand side, mostly the people are scanning your website, and they do not scan each and every word. Maximum time that they spend per page is not more than 2 minutes. So you have to attract your customer that they spend more and more time. Now again, what Google sees is, are people spending time on your page, on your post? And if they're not spending good time, right? So someone is only exiting within 0 seconds or 0.1 seconds, then what Google says that your website content is not good, your website design is not good. Again, in that scenario also Google will not approve it, right? You can also, this is also one way where you can increase the traffic of your website. So if there are more traffic to your website, again there is a positive point and positive factor that your AdSense account will get approved. So for that you can ask users to write a user generated content or a guest post. So you can tie up with the influencers in the sense who are very famous and who are writing a blog on that particular topic. You can collaborate with them, and then you can ask them to write a guest post on your site, right? Okay, I'm sorry. So as I told you, you should not have a less content on your site, right? So the number of posts that you are writing, that does not matter, but what are the content that you are writing, okay, that matters a lot. Once you want that, you need to activate it for AdSense. Remember that you should at least have 40 articles with at least 1200 to 1500 words on your page, right? Okay, so as I told you, you should have a good traffic. To have a good traffic, what you need to do, you need to write engaging, interesting content. Your content should be rich, friendly. What you can do is you can integrate with subscriber tools. Now you might go have gone through many sites where they are asking you to subscribe for their blogs, right? So when you subscribe for their blogs, what happens that whenever a blog is published, they get a notification and then they view. You might be also getting emails from various brands, right? Okay, so you can have a tool like MailChimp tool where you can just create the email marketing plan. You can have a social site, social groups. It's a very good way to build a traffic. How? Whenever you're publishing a blog, write it in, paste the link on your social media sites, and also post it in different groups, so you can connect with different relevant groups, post it in that group, and that content will be shared. So more and more people know, more and more traffic will be there on your website. Okay, so Swatik is asking me, where are WordPress pages hosted? So for WordPress.com, it is hosted on a WordPress server. For WordPress.org, you have to purchase a domain and hosting. So say for example, you have purchased the hosting from GoDaddy, it will be hosted on a GoDaddy server, right? right? Okay. Okay, so everyone is clear with the policy. If you have a very new website, right, do not jump to create an AdSense account. So give at least 1 month to your website. At least have a visitors. Now, how you can find out the visitor? We have a tool known as Google Analytics tool, wherein you can find out the visitors, that how many visitors I am getting on my website. Have a good number of visitors, good number of traffic, good number of content. Once everything is in place, then only apply for AdSense. There is possibility that AdSense might disapprove your request at first place. It will give you a recommendation that what you need to do and why it has not approved. So work on that, and also take some time. Do not jump again to have an approval policy. So it's common that sometimes Google can reject your AdSense account, right? But try to improve it and then again try to apply. So it's not that once you're rejected, again you cannot apply. You can again apply for an AdSense account, but you have to improvise. So these are the things. The things are quality content, high traffic, okay? It should not be a plagiarized content, good website design, good number of visitors on your site. So these are the things that you need to take into the consideration before applying it for the AdSense. Okay, Swatika is asking me, why would visitors go on WordPress server? So visitor will not know on which site you are hosting, right? They will not know that whether you are hosting with GoDaddy, Big Rock, or you are hosting on a Blogspot. If it's very intelligent user, if they know about digital marketing and things like that, they will know that okay, they have created an account on Blogspot, but they will not understand that on which server your blog has been hosted. Okay, so Abhinay is asking me, without traffic, it is not suggested. No, without traffic, it is not at all suggested, because why? The ads will be shown on your website. If you don't have a traffic, who will come on your website, right? Now, whenever advertiser places an ad on Google, what they see is what are the number of visitors that they have on whichever website they are placing the ad. Google gives them a option wherein they can see that what are the number of visitors that they have on their site, right? So if your site does not have a traffic, why would people advertise on your site? And why would Google AdSense show the ads? Your ads will not shown on the first place, because advertiser will never place the ads on the website where there is no traffic, right, Abhinay? Okay. Sanjana is asking, where can we mention about the source or reference in the blog? So, Sanjana, say for example, I have written a blog. After writing a blog, what I get is I get a URL, right? I get a URL of my blog. So once I get the URL of my blog, what I can do is, so say for example, this is the URL of my blog. What I will do is I'll just copy this URL. I'll go to social media site and I'll paste this URL. So what I will do is I'll write a blog post. I have to also convince the user that why they should need to read my blog, right? What is the benefit, what benefit they will be getting. So I'll be writing a benefit on my blog, on my social media post, and then I will say read more, and I'll be giving the link of my blog page, right? So this is how I can apply for a source. So I hope it is clear. All right. Okay. So moving back to our slide. Okay. Now, once your account is approved, it does not mean that once your account is approved, it cannot be disapproved. It can also get banned after initial AdSense approval. So for that, what you need to do is, right, you need to fix out something. What can be the scenario? you already have a AdSense account and you are trying to create another AdSense account. Now Google is very smart and it identifies it through the cookies, through the IP addresses. So you at a time you can only have one AdSense account. It can be the thing like you are having any spammy link on your website. There can be malware on your website, a virus on your website. In that case, also Google AdSense will disapprove. So it keeps on checking, and Google AdSense keeps on checking the health of your website. If everything is good, then your account will run smoothly. But if it finds any of the error, it will ban it. Again, it can ban it. All right. Okay, so Sanjana is saying that I have asked about image source. Okay, so Sanjana, you have Google Images where you can find out the image source. Also, you might be referring to various sites before writing a blog. That site might also have an images from where you can take the images, but yes, you have to mention that source name. Is it clear, Sanjana? Or still you are having a doubt? Okay, so please tell me. Okay, Swatik is asking me, can we use Quora for engaging particular topic? Yeah, very good point over here, Satvik, I should tell. Yes, Quora is also a good site. Many people ask the question, say for example, which is the best digital marketing institute, right? So you can write it if you have written a blog, if you have done a research on digital marketing institute, if you have written a benefits of learning with that particular digital marketing institute, and you have listed top 10 digital marketing institute, definitely you can link it to Quora site. And yes, this is a good thing to do, right? Okay, great. Okay, so if you are getting, if you got banned, what you can do is, right? So there can be a compliance issue. What can be the issue? One, as I told you, your content is not original. You are creating multiple AdSense accounts and you are trying to increase the click count on your website by wrong activities. Now, what do I mean by that? Advertiser has placed the ad. Now, to earn money, what I'm doing is I'm clicking on that ad. Right now, Google is also very smart to identify this through IP address, through cookies, through all these things. Google can identify that whether this click is actually happening by a visitor or it has been done by the account owner. So do not try to tweak it, right? Otherwise, it will get banned. Okay, Sanjana is asking me, what happens after ads are placed on website? What are parameters to get the payment? Yes. Yes, and as I told you that it has a threshold. Per ad, Google pays you $2 to $3, right? And threshold is of $100. Once you earn $100, at Google will credit to your account. So in AdSense account, you have an option of payment, right? So I'll just show you that option. 1 second. You have a payment option. You have to configure your pay where you need to do a payment. You have to mention your bank account, bank details over here. Once you mention the bank details over here, right, in the reports there are various kind of reports that are available over here, right? So you can see how much you have earned by week, by month, all that you can see that how much you have earned. Estimated earning is one of the column where you can see how much earnings you have done. Once you have earned $100, Google will automatically do the payment. Okay, so I hope that clears your doubt. Okay. Okay, so one tip over here, we were talking about we have talked about design, but how about placing the ads? Now I have told you that we can do a ad unit placement, right? Do not place more ads than content. If you can see with this design, what this particular website has done, on the left hand side also it has created a ad space, on the right hand side, on the top, on the sideways. Now all is what I can see is only ads. I cannot see the content over here. So again, this is a big no. So never, once your account is approved, never try to accommodate too many ads. Okay, create a decent ad space to show. Don't be too greedy to earn money, right? This is spoiling the impression of your site. If visitors also see too many ads placed on your site, they will not be interested to read your blog or visit your page. So remember, there are many competitors who are there, who are doing the same thing. So you have to stand out from your competitors, and these are some tips and techniques that you have to follow. All right. Okay, so this was about the AdSense. Now, anyone of you have any questions, then please feel free to ask. Anyone of you having any questions? Okay. Okay, Sumit Bhatnagar asked me what happens after ads are placed on website. What are the parameters? Okay, that I have already answered. Okay. Any other questions? Any other queries? What is okay? So Sujay is asking me what is with the cookies notification in European Union. So there is a rule laid out that without the consent of the audience, you cannot ask, you cannot email them, you cannot show the ads. In the Google also you have an option wherein you can select that these are the ads that I don't want to see. So whenever the ad is coming on the website, what you can do is you can go to ad settings. Okay, now if this is the, I will say stop seeing this ad, and Google will not show me this type of ad. Now what Google do is, Google simply records the type of sites you're visiting. So you're more of a digital marketing kind of sites. If you're visiting, what Google will do is Google will show you those kind of ads, related kind of ads. If you're searching for some mobile phone, say for example, Google will, whenever advertiser is placing the ad, Google will try to target you and show those kind of ads. So these are what happens with the cookies. Cookies is nothing but a temporary record of what all sites you are visiting, and that record goes with Google and it shows the ads, right? Okay. So Angna is asking me, can we put up the links of our sites on sites like Quora? Yes, yes, absolutely. You can put up the link. There is no harm with it. Okay, Angna is also asking me how many times we can apply for AdSense. So there is no limit, but yes, if Google sees that without the improvements you are again and again applying it, then it will book you in the bad records of Google, and it might not approve your account at all, right? So Vibhuti is saying, greatly explained. Thank you for making it beginner friendly. Learned a lot today. Thanks, Vibhuti. Thanks a lot for your feedback. Okay, Sumit is asking, what happens if do not accept cookies? If you do not accept cookies, then they cannot show the ads, relevant ads. The ads will not be shown. All right. Okay, Sujay has raised the hand. Yes, Sujay. What is your query? Yes, about text. Yes, please ask me. And labels. Yes. So you're referring to any particular site with this? Okay. So tags are nothing but a set of keywords. So tags are nothing but a set of keywords. Now I'm writing for Digital Marketing Institute, say for example, top 10 Digital Marketing Institute. This is the blog which I'm writing. So I will give a keywords that will enable Google to understand that about which topic or which subject I am writing. All right. Okay. So Angna is saying me, yes, ma'am, indeed, this was very helpful webinar. Thank you so much. Lots of love and respect from my side. Thanks, Angna. Thanks for showing such a wonderful love to me. Thanks a lot. Okay, Sonal is saying, I really admire the way you are connecting with all and the way you are explaining us. Thanks. Thanks a lot. It matters a lot for me, and I'm very obliged for all your feedback. Okay, any other query anyone is having? Please let me know. Okay, so I think no more queries. So I would now request Shivanshu to take over. Yes, Shivanshu, are you there? I think Shivanshu was not there. Okay, so all right, guys. I wish you all the best for your blogging, and please start writing with your blog and start earning money. Right? I wish you all the best. Okay, Anshra is asking me if we get banned once, we are banned forever. No, we can revive the account. So Google will give you why you have been banned. You can work on that, and again you can apply. Right? Okay. Okay, Sanjana has raised the hand. Yes, Sanjana, any query? Please let me know. Okay. Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks so much, guys. Okay, Angna is saying we will be grateful to you if one day we do start getting money. So, Angna, whatever tips and whatever techniques I have explained you, I have shown you, please follow that, and definitely you will start earning money with it. I wish you all the best. Thanks, guys. Thanks for attending the webinar, and thanks for being such a wonderful participants. Okay. So thank you so much, and bye, everyone. See you. Hoping to also connect with other webinars, shortcoming webinars that will be conducting. Bye, guys. Have a good day.